Hey everyone, welcome back to English in Real Life. I'm Sarah, and today I am on my own. Today's question is one I get asked constantly, especially from people who are seriously thinking about making a big change in their lives. How much money do you actually need to study English in the United States for 6 months? Real answer, real numbers. Let's get into it. Let's start with the good news. If you book an all-inclusive package, meaning your course, your accommodation, and your meals are all covered together, you can expect to pay between $700 and $1,000 per week. That is the most common and most practical option for international students. Everything is organized. Everything is in one place. And for 6 months, that is around 26 weeks. You are looking at a total of approximately $18,000 to $26,000. I know that sounds like a lot, and it is a significant investment. But when you break it down week by week, it becomes much easier to understand and to plan for. So what does that weekly cost actually include? Let's look at each part. First, the English course itself, tuition and materials. This typically costs between $250 and $570 per week. The price depends on the type of program, standard or intensive, and on the location. Private language schools in major cities like New York, Boston, or San Francisco tend to be significantly more expensive than programs in smaller towns or suburbs. So if your priority is keeping costs manageable, a smaller city is worth considering seriously. Second, accommodation. And here, you have two main options. The first is a homestay, living with a local family. This typically costs between $350 and $450 per week, and it usually includes meals. A homestay is genuinely one of the best options for language learners. You are surrounded by English every single day, at breakfast, at dinner, in the living room, real conversations, real vocabulary, real pronunciation. You are not just studying English in a classroom, you are living inside the language. While the second option is a student residence, shared housing specifically for international students. This costs between $400 and $600 per week, depending on whether your room is shared or private. Student residences are social and convenient. You are surrounded by other learners from all over the world. But, and this is important, you may end up speaking your own language more than English if your housemates share your background. Something worth thinking about. Now, if you book through an agency, the all-inclusive package usually covers everything we just talked about. The agency handles the organization, the school, the accommodation, the paperwork. It is more convenient, but it can be slightly more expensive than booking directly. Either way, the weekly cost generally stays within that $700 to $1,000 range. But there are costs outside the package that you need to plan for too. Health insurance, essential in the United States. A basic student plan costs around $100 to $200 per month. Do not skip this. Healthcare in the United States is very expensive without coverage. Transport, budget around $100 per month, depending on the city. And personal expenses, your phone plan, entertainment, weekend trips, shopping, at least $300 to $400 per month. And of course, the F1 student visa. You need this to study legally in the United States. The application fee is $360. Allow enough time to apply. The process can take several weeks. So, the complete picture for 6 months. All-inclusive package between $18,000 and $26,000. Health insurance around $900. Transport around $600. Personal expenses around $2,000. Visa $360. Total approximately $22,000 to $30,000 for the full 6 months. In a large, expensive city, closer to the higher end. In a smaller, more affordable city, closer to the lower end. Is it worth it? I genuinely believe so. 6 months of full immersion, studying, living, and communicating entirely in English produces progress that years of part-time study simply cannot match. You absorb the language, you start thinking in it, you build real confidence. But it requires careful planning and honest saving. Start early, research your options, and go in with clear, realistic expectations. Vocabulary time. To enroll. Stress on roll. To officially register for a course or program. She enrolled in an intensive English program in Boston. In American English, enroll with 2 L's. Both are correct. Tuition. Stress on TUI. The money you pay for your education, the cost of your classes, and instruction. The weekly tuition for the standard program was around $300. Accommodation. Stress on MO. A place to live, a room, flat, or house. She chose a homestay for her accommodation because she wanted to practice English every day. Remember, 2 C's and 2 M's. ACCOM, Murachin. All-inclusive. Stress on clue. An all-inclusive package covers everything in one price. Course, accommodation, meals, and sometimes activities. She booked an all-inclusive program, so she did not have to worry about organizing everything separately. Very common in travel and education contexts. 5. Immersion. Stress on MER. Surrounding yourself completely with a language. Being in it constantly, not just studying it in a classroom. Full immersion in an English-speaking country can transform your fluency in ways a classroom never can. Enroll. Tuition, accommodation, all-inclusive, immersion. 5 B2 words that are directly useful if you are planning to study abroad or talking about education and travel in English. Use one this week. Say it, write it, include it in a real conversation. That is how vocabulary becomes truly yours. I hope this gave you a clear, realistic picture of what studying English in the United States actually costs. If you are planning this, start saving, start researching, and take it one step at a time. It is a big investment, and it can genuinely change your life. Keep learning, keep going, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye, everyone.